all faith-based institutions that during an electoral season they should desist from inviting potential aspirants or candidates from coming to their churches or mosques or communities to fundraise or give donations, because in law that will be construed as if trying to influence voters in that area or in that church or mosque to vote for that candidate. 4 months is not a long period. Why don't you hold on your fundraising activities until we are done with the electoral processes and polling? Then you can resume your fundraising. If the church has not been built or the mosque has not been built in the last 5 or 10 years, 4 months will not make much damage. But what we need to avoid, fellow Ugandans, is to create a platform enticing or compelling these aspirants or candidates into giving money into processes and activities that will be construed or interpreted as bribing voters. Let us avoid that. Let us avoid that for the good and sanctity of our elections. Now, the role of the Electoral Commission, dispensing monies to political parties, we do that in accordance with the law. It's the law which defines for us how that money that comes from the government coffers to fund the political parties is supposed to be distributed or apportioned. We follow the law. Now recently, as you know, there was an amendment in the law with regard to financing, that political parties represented in parliament who are members of IPOD are the ones who are supposed to get funds, these funds. Previously, it was that any party represented in parliament is entitled to funding, the amount depending on your numerical strength in the parliament. But since the law has recently been amended, and to say or to state that only those parties which subscribe to IPOD membership should get funding. So as a commission, we are going to follow the running the electoral activities by a political party in an election is permitted. For instance, they need fuel to run around to do campaigns. They need to facilitate their agents. Maybe they will send some campaign managers or agents in some areas. So definitely, an election requires resources, either on the part of government or the Electoral Commission, or the candidates or political parties. But the funds that are allowed or permitted are those which will enable you to conduct your campaigns, facilitate your agents, but not to give voters money to influence their choice. That's not what is allowed. That's what is not permitted or allowed under the law. You can raise money as a political party for purposes of mobilizing your agents or putting in motion your campaign programs and campaign activities, but not for bribing voters. That is a crime. The National Voters Register is being scrutinized, being cleaned, and we shall, after all that has been completed, we shall produce the final register, what we call the polling register. In a very short time, we shall be producing that final polling register. So the work of cleaning, kawafuo okulaba nti tubeera na register entuufu ekyagenda mu maaso, kawafuba kyagenda mu maaso bwe tunaamaliriza tujja kubategeeza. Ne bwe twogerera kati abalonzi balinga bali wakati w'obukadde 21 n'obukadde 22. Abalonzi bali ku register. naye kawofu bugirongoosa n'ogitereza ekyagenda mu maaso. Donations, fundraisings. Yes, we are telling all faith-based institutions ngomaze okusunsulwamu yadde tunakola campaigns, yadde tunatandika kola campaigns, tekikkirizibwa bw'ofuuka candidate tokkirizibwa okozesa ssente kubanga oba ogulirira balonzi. Tokkirizibwa ogenda n'ozimba nayikondo mu kyalo kyewammwe, banange munzijjukire ndi wano nze mbakoledde nayikondo, that's bribery. Tokkirizibwa okuwaayo amabaati ku kanisa oba kereziya oba omuzigiti ng'oli candidate. Tokkirizibwa okola oluguudo ng'oli candidate. Ebinye obadde bikuba bantu bo, obuwedde obaddewo, leka bibakube mpaka okulonda kuwedde. Kubanga you are bribing voters, you are influencing voters in that area. Naye kyetukubiriza abo bonna beesingeewo, abo bonna basunsuddwa n'abagenda kusunsulwa, ebyokukozesa ssente mu bikome. Because our opponents bo, your opponents are observing how you are conducting your campaigns using money. If you win and you adduce this evidence to challenge your victory before the courts of law, your victory will be cancelled and it will be wasted exercise. And secondly, the law says